Michael Carter opens the front door and freezes in place. What he's seeing is impossible. His son Ethan is laughing, for the first time in 2 years since the accident that killed Amanda and left the boy in a wheelchair. Ethan is truly laughing. A young woman is gently pushing his chair across the living room, making silly voices and goofy faces. Here comes the brave little lion in his special car. Roar, he's going to save all the animals in the forest. Ethan claps softly, but he is clapping. His eyes shine in a way Michael had forgotten existed. The boy moves his arms, trying to imitate the sounds the woman makes. Tears come without warning to Michael's eyes. 2 thick tears slide down his face. It's a miracle. It's impossible, but it's happening. He's so moved that he drops his keys. The clatter echoes through the room. The spell breaks at once. Ethan stops laughing, shrinks into the chair, and returns to the apathetic child Michael knows. It's as if someone flipped off a light. "Who are you? What are you doing with my son?" Michael's voice comes out unsteady, stuck between emotion and panic. The woman stands quickly, smoothing her uniform. "Hi, I'm Brooke Parker. I started here today. Didn't the agency call?" "No one told me anything." Michael looks at Ethan, who is now staring at his own hands. The change was brutal, from a happy boy to a broken one in 2 seconds. "Wow, how embarrassing. Want me to come back another day? I didn't mean to intrude." There's something different in how Brooke treats Ethan. She doesn't look at him with pity, doesn't treat him like a helpless case, she treats him like a normal kid. "You can stay, just be careful with him. My son is very fragile." Brooke looks at Ethan and then at Michael. Her eyes say she disagrees. To her, the boy doesn't seem fragile, just very alone. "All right, I'll be careful." But Michael can see she isn't going to stop playing with Ethan, and for the first time in a long while, he isn't even sure he wants her to stop. The second day, Michael spies from his office window. Brooke is working in the yard, and Ethan is on the porch watching her. She isn't just cleaning, she's telling a story. "You know what happened this morning? The flowers told me a secret. That rose over there. She's a little dramatic, always complaining about the sun. Ugh, so hot, I'm parched. But that daisy is shy. She only talks in a whisper, like this." Brooke uses different voices, some high, some low. She makes an angry face at the rose, and a timid face at the daisy. Ethan watches everything with sharp attention. It's more interest than he has shown in anything in 2 years. Michael feels a pain in his chest. When was the last time he tried to make his son laugh? When did he stop trying? Because it hurt too much to see Ethan unresponsive. The memory hits hard. Amanda pushing Ethan on the swing, both of them shouting with joy, "Higher, Mom, higher!" It was a Saturday morning, the last Saturday before everything ended. Michael closes his eyes. If only he hadn't insisted that Amanda go to the store with him. If only he had driven slower in the rain. A noise drags him out of those dark thoughts. Ethan is clapping again, stronger this time. A round of applause for Brooke's performance. It's the first voluntary movement Michael has seen his son make in months. "Mr. Carter." Brooke's voice startles him. She's come up onto the porch without his noticing. "Sorry to bother you. I just wanted to ask if I could make Ethan a snack. He barely touched his breakfast." Michael looks at his son. It's true. Ethan eats the bare minimum to survive with no appetite, no pleasure. "You can try, but he's picky." "I can make sandwiches cut into animal shapes. Sometimes kids eat better when it's fun." Michael wants to say nothing works with Ethan, that he has tried everything, but there's hope in Brooke's eyes. "Go ahead." An hour later, Brooke comes back with a tray. The sandwiches are cut into tiny butterflies, with cherry tomato antennae and lettuce wings. "Look, the butterflies came to have lunch with you. They're starving for affection." Ethan eyes the tray with curiosity, hesitating. Then he picks up a butterfly and takes a small bite. Michael almost shouts with joy from the window. Ethan ate on his own because he wanted to. That's it, champ. Brooke smiles. The butterflies adore you. They say you're the kindest boy they've ever met. When Brooke leaves, she crouches to Ethan's level. We'll play more tomorrow, okay, Prince? Ethan nods. It's slight, but it's a clear yes. Michael feels something he hasn't felt in 2 years, real hope. 3 days later, Brooke's special routine with Ethan has become a tradition. She's turned cleaning the house into a grand adventure. In the morning, she pushes his chair through the rooms, inventing stories about everything. The living room vase becomes a castle. The chandelier turns into a spaceship. The stairs become a mountain full of friendly dragons. Ethan reacts more each day. He points at things when he wants Brooke to tell a story about them. He moves his mouth as if trying to speak. His eyes are shining again. During a living room game, Brooke puts on children's music and starts dancing around his chair. Let's dance, Prince. You move your little arms and I'll move my feet. Ethan raises his arms and sways to the beat. It's not much, but it's participation. It's life returning. Michael watches, hidden in the doorway. He wants to step in and join them, but he's afraid he'll ruin it, afraid that getting too close will send Ethan back into silence. At afternoon snack time, the impossible happens. Brooke is telling a tale in which she and Ethan are brave explorers. And now, brave explorer Ethan, we have to cross the river of hungry alligators. Do you have the courage? Ethan looks at her with complete focus. His mouth moves very slowly. Michael leans forward, heart pounding. Then, soft as a whisper, Ethan says, Ma! Ma! Michael freezes. Ethan tried to say, Mama, meaning Amanda. Ma! Ma! He looks at Brooke. Brooke is deeply moved but doesn't make a scene. She just smiles warmly. That's right, my prince. You're magic just like you are. That day when Brooke leaves, she walks differently, hope in her steps, resolve in her eyes. She did it. She truly got Ethan to respond. But neither Michael nor Brooke knows that someone had been watching from the second-floor window, a shadow tracking every movement, every tiny step forward. And that shadow is not happy with what it saw. A week later, on Brooke's 7th day of work, everything changes. She's pushing Ethan's chair down the hallway, singing, when the doorbell rings. Michael goes to answer it, and Brooke hears muffled conversation at the door. Then footsteps approach. Ethan, there's someone very special here to see you. Michael's voice sounds strange, mixed with emotion and shock. When the woman steps into the room, Brooke feels like the world stops. Impossible. It can't be real. The woman is identical to the photos of Amanda scattered around the house. Same height, same blonde hair, same blue eyes, same style of dress. It's as if Michael's dead wife had returned. The impact on Ethan is devastating. He lets out a strangled cry of terror and starts shaking violently in his chair. Tears fill his eyes as he stares, frozen, at the apparition. Hi, my little angel. Aunt Veronica came back. The voice is almost the same as Amanda's. Veronica approaches and kisses Ethan's forehead, and he keeps trembling with fear. Michael is clearly rattled. His hands shake as he makes the introductions. Brooke, this is Veronica, my wife's twin sister. Veronica, this is Brooke, our employee. Veronica offers a handshake to Brooke with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. There's something icy in that smile. Pleasure, Brooke. I hope you're taking good care of our family. Our family, the word sounds possessive. I'm doing my best. I'm sure. Michael told her Brooke has been very affectionate with Ethan. There's something in Veronica's tone that makes Brooke uncomfortable, as if her warmth toward Ethan were somehow wrong. Michael explains while Ethan remains in shock. Veronica was in Europe, recovering from losing Amanda. Now she's back to be close to us, to help with Ethan. That's good. He really needs family. Brooke tries to sound sincere, but something doesn't add up. If Veronica was grieving, why does she seem so controlled, so calculated? Exactly. Family understands family better than anyone, right, Michael? The way Veronica looks at him is loaded with meanings Brooke can't read. There's history there. Old feelings. Ethan, sweetheart, won't you give your aunt a hug? Veronica tries to hug the boy, but he recoils in his chair, making a desperate sound. He's still very sensitive, Michael says quickly. The accident left him deeply traumatized. Of course I understand. But I'm family, Michael. I'm the closest person to Amanda that exists. If anyone can help him get better, it's me. Brooke looks at Ethan and sees something frightening. All the progress of the last week has vanished. He's back to the apathetic state of the first months after the accident. Worse, he looks terrified. Veronica notices Brooke's worried look and gives a cool smile. You must be wondering about the resemblance, right? Yes, Amanda and I were identical twins. Everyone always said our personalities were similar, too. But Brooke can see that Veronica's eyes are different. In the photos, Amanda radiates warmth. Veronica radiates something cold. Michael looks visibly emotional seeing Veronica. For him, it must feel like having a living version of Amanda again. It's so good to have you here, Veronica. Ethan needs a mother figure, and you're the closest person to Amanda that we have. Exactly. And now that I'm here, I can personally take care of him. I'm sure Brooke understands that, being family, I should have priority in decisions about Ethan. The message is clear. Veronica is marking territory. Of course, Brooke answers, but there's resistance in her voice. When Michael steps out to get Veronica's bags from the car, Veronica moves closer to Brooke. The smile disappears completely. Just so we're perfectly clear, she whispers, so only Brooke can hear. Know your place in this house. You're the help. I'm family. Don't forget it. The tone is pure threat. When Michael returns, Veronica is all sugary smiles again. Brooke gives Ethan one last look before leaving. He meets her eyes, pleading, as if begging not to be left alone with the woman who looks exactly like his dead mother. But Brooke can't do anything. Veronica is right. She's just the employee. That night, for the first time in months, Ethan wets the bed. Michael finds his son crying in the dark, whispering, "Mum! Mum!" But he isn't calling Amanda. He's scared of the woman who looks just like her. A few days after Veronica's arrival, the house becomes a completely different place. Ethan has regressed in a way Michael has never seen. The boy won't stop crying, refuses to eat, and won't leave his room. Every time he sees Veronica, he trembles and makes desperate sounds. Brooke tries to keep up the games, but something has changed. Ethan no longer responds. He seems constantly afraid of something. One afternoon, Brooke discovers what's going on. She's walking down the hallway when she hears Veronica speaking softly in Ethan's room. Brooke hides behind the door and hears a conversation that freezes her blood. You know, Ethan, your mum got very worried that day because you were crying in the car. The boy makes a small sound of pain. She got distracted, trying to calm you down. If you get too agitated again, if you cry loud and make a fuss, Daddy might get so worried that, well, you understand, right? We don't want anything to happen to him. Brooke's heart races. Veronica is making a traumatized child feel guilty for his own mother's death. And if you tell anyone about our little talk, I'll be very sad and might have to go away. Then Daddy will be all alone again, just like when Mommy left. Do you want that? Brooke hears Ethan crying softly. The child is being emotionally manipulated by his own aunt. When Veronica leaves the room, Brooke ducks away, hurries to Ethan, and finds him curled in the chair, cheeks wet with tears. Hey, my prince, it's okay. Ethan looks at her with terror in his eyes, making frantic gestures with his hands, pointing to his mouth and shaking his head. He's saying he can't speak, Then he points to his mother's photo and makes a gesture like something bad will happen. Brooke understands. He believes that if he makes noise, people will get hurt. "What did she do to you, sweetheart?" But Ethan can only cry silently, too frightened to react. That night, Michael finds Ethan crying in the dark again. It's the 4th time that week. "What is it, son? Tell Daddy." But Ethan can't. He's too afraid that something will happen to his father if he opens his mouth. The next week, Veronica starts the 2nd phase of her plan, destroying Michael's trust in Brooke. She plants small doubts during casual conversations. "Michael, don't you think it's strange how Ethan got worse after that housekeeper showed up?" "What do you mean?" "Think about it. He was stable within his issues. Then this woman arrives, raising expectations, promising improvement, and look at him now." Michael grows pensive. It's true Ethan is much worse, but that started when Veronica arrived, not when Brooke did. He just can't see it. "There's something else. Yesterday I heard her telling Ethan that his mom sends kisses from heaven." That isn't true, but Michael has no way to know. "She said that?" "She did, Michael. That confuses him. He'll sit waiting for his mom to come back. A traumatized child can't hear things like that." Veronica keeps planting more lies as days pass. She invents that Brooke told Ethan his mother is alive in his heart and that one day they'll meet again. "I didn't want to say anything, but yesterday I saw her teaching him to blow kisses to the sky. When I asked, she said it was to communicate with Mommy. Michael, that's too dangerous." Her lies are clever. She picks things a caring person might actually say and twists them. Michael, already shaken by Veronica's presence, which reminds him of Amanda every second, starts to believe. The situation explodes when Veronica shows Michael a paper she supposedly found in the trash. "Look what she wrote and threw away. Ethan needs a mother. Maybe I can be that person for him." "Michael, this woman is obsessed with replacing Amanda." Veronica wrote the note herself, but Michael doesn't suspect. That afternoon, he calls Brooke in to talk. "I need to speak with you. I've heard some things that worry me." "What things, Mr. Carter?" "People say you've been telling Ethan that his mom sends kisses from heaven, that he can communicate with her." Brooke is stunned. She's never said anything like that. "I never said that. I just sing and play with him." "And this paper? Did you write that you want to be my son's mother?" "What paper?" "I didn't write anything." But Michael is too confused to believe her. Veronica has done a thorough job. "Look, I don't know what's going on, but my son is getting worse every day. Maybe you should rethink all this closeness." Brooke leaves the conversation in pieces. She knows she did nothing wrong, but she can't prove it. And the worst part is that Ethan is suffering more and more. At the end of the following week, Michael makes a decision that breaks Brooke's heart. "From today on, you can't be alone with Ethan anymore. Just clean when I or Veronica are around." The order is a punch to the gut. She's being cut off from the only child she's managed to help. "But Mr. Carter, I don't want to discuss it. It's for my son's good." Ethan doesn't understand why his only source of tenderness has been pushed away. He sees Brooke every day, but now she can only clean under watch. She can't play, tell stories, or sing. The boy sinks even deeper, stops eating almost entirely, sleeps badly, and returns to the total apathy of those first months after the accident. Michael senses something is wrong, but he can't figure out what. His son is getting much worse, but everyone keeps telling him it's normal. Around this time, Michael starts noticing odd things about Veronica. She says she spent 2 years in Europe, yet she knows very specific details about the house's current routine. She knows where things are, remembers habits of his that changed only a few months ago. One night, Michael is walking past Ethan's room when he hears Veronica inside. Her tone is different from the sweetness she uses in front of him. And if you try to tell Daddy about our conversation, I'll have to go away. And you know what will happen? He'll be so sad he might get sick just like Mommy. Michael frowns. What conversation? Why would Veronica say that? But when he steps in, he finds Veronica humming softly to Ethan. He was agitated, she says, sweet as sugar. I was just calming him. Michael isn't sure what he heard. Maybe he imagined it. In the middle of the night, everything erupts into chaos. Michael hears Ethan sobbing in panic. When he rushes in, he finds Brooke already there, soothing the boy. She disobeyed the rules. What are you doing here? Didn't I say you couldn't be alone with him? Mr. Carter, he was crying so hard. I just wanted to help. That doesn't matter. You disobeyed. Brooke looks at Ethan, who is clinging to her shirt like she's the only protection he has in the world. He needs me, Mr. Carter. Something is scaring him badly. She doesn't know Veronica is in the doorway, watching with a satisfied smile. Everything is going according to plan. A few days later, Brooke decides she has to understand what's happening. If she can't help Ethan directly, she'll find out why a child who had been improving so much has gotten so brutally worse. The first suspicions arise by chance. During a casual chat, Veronica mentions a new bakery that opened 6 months ago in the area. Those sugar-dusted pastries are just amazing, right? Brooke grows pensive. How would Veronica know that if she was in Europe? Later, Brooke notices Veronica knows the song Michael's been playing lately, a song that didn't hit the radio until 3 months ago. And there's more. Veronica knows Michael switched coffee brands. She knows he changed his gym time. Small things, but things someone who'd been overseas for 2 years shouldn't know. The real discovery happens by pure accident. Brooke is straightening the living room when Veronica's purse tumbles to the floor. Several items spill out. As Brooke helps gather them, she spots an electric bill dated 3 months ago, addressed to an apartment in town. Veronica hadn't been in Europe at all. She'd been living right nearby. But why lie? Brooke starts noticing other things. Photos on Veronica's phone show her around the city during the supposed years away. A selfie at the local mall 6 months ago. Another at the regional park 4 months back. It's all a lie. At that moment, Ethan manages to communicate with Brooke in a desperate way. The boy makes a huge effort to scribble on paper. 2 identical women inside a car. Brooke looks at the drawing and feels ice in her veins. Ethan saw something the day of the accident, something involving 2 identical women. Veronica was in the car when Amanda died. Before Brooke can process it, she hears footsteps behind her. Finding anything interesting? Veronica is in the doorway. The smile has vanished entirely. I was just picking up what fell from your purse. How convenient that you're always in the right place at the right time, Veronica says, voice cold as ice. Brooke knows she's been caught investigating, and something in Veronica's eyes says she won't forget it. That night, Brooke gets home and finds the front door slightly ajar. Her heart hammers. She's certain she locked it when she left. She steps in slowly. Nothing seems stolen, but muddy footprints mark the floor. Someone was there. In the bathroom, written on the mirror in lipstick, waits a message that makes her blood run cold. You have such a lovely family. It would be a shame if something happened. The next week, Brooke can't get the mirror message out of her mind. Someone entered her place. Someone who knows where her family lives. But she can't give up now. Ethan is suffering too much, and she's the only one who truly sees what's happening. The first clue comes by pure chance. Brooke is cleaning the dining table when she notices some papers spread out, bank documents someone left there. Michael's name is prominent. Inheritance transfer, $10 million. Brooke is confused. Michael never mentioned an inheritance. She checks the date, 2 months ago, exactly when Veronica returned from Europe. What a strange coincidence, she thinks. Veronica vanishes for 2 years and reappears right when Michael becomes a multimillionaire. A few days later, something makes Brooke even more suspicious. She's straightening the guest room when she finds pills in a dresser drawer, strong sedatives in Veronica's name. The prescription is from 6 months ago, written by a local doctor. If Veronica was in Europe for 2 years, how did she get a prescription here 6 months back? Another lie. Brooke keeps spotting small tells. Veronica knows the name of the pizza delivery guy who started 4 months ago. She knows the corner pharmacy changed owners recently. She knows details someone who'd been out of the country shouldn't know. During a conversation with Michael, Brooke discovers something even more disturbing. You know, I still don't understand how Amanda lost control of the car, Michael says, voice heavy. She'd been driving for years. She knew that road by heart. What do you mean? She was super careful. She never sped. That day she was going slowly because of the rain, but the car went off the road like, I don't know, like someone pulled the wheel. Brooke's heart stutters. Someone pulled the wheel. And Ethan, did he say anything about the accident? In the first days, he cried and made strange gestures, like he'd seen 2 people fighting, but the doctor said it was trauma, that kids make things up. 2 people fighting just like the drawings Ethan still makes. That night, Brooke can't sleep. The pieces are falling together in a terrifying way. If Veronica never left town, if she came back because of the money, if Ethan saw 2 people fighting in the car, and if the accident wasn't an accident, the idea is so awful she tries to push it away, but she can't. A 6-year-old wouldn't invent such specific drawings of cars and 2 women fighting. A few days later, Michael decides to tell Brooke about the inheritance. Brooke, I didn't mention it earlier, but my grandfather died 2 months ago. He left me a substantial inheritance. Oh? That's good news, Mr. Carter. Brooke pretends to be surprised, but now everything makes sense. That's why Veronica appeared at that exact time. $10 million, imagine. Changes your life, right? That's a lot of money. Veronica's been helping me think what to do with it. She suggested we sell this house, buy something smaller, maybe even move to another city. A chill runs through Brooke. Veronica wants to take Michael and Ethan away, isolating them from anyone who might interfere. And Ethan, how is he with the idea of moving? Michael exhales. He gets agitated when we mention it. Just yesterday he drew some strange things again. What kind of things? Cars, women, messy drawings. Veronica thinks it's his mind trying to forget the trauma. Brooke is certain that's not it. Ethan is trying to tell the truth the only way he can. May I see the drawings? Michael hesitates. Veronica said it's best not to pay them much attention. The more we focus on the trauma, the worse it gets. Of course Veronica would say that. She doesn't want anyone to see what Ethan is trying to communicate. That afternoon, Brooke manages to be alone with Ethan for a few minutes. The boy is in the living room, looking out at the window. Hey, my prince, you doing okay? Ethan looks at her with those sad eyes, then gestures toward the paper and pencil on the table. Do you want to draw something? He nods, takes the pencil with trembling hands, and starts to scribble. The picture is clearer than the others. 2 identical women inside a car, one holding the wheel, the other yanking it hard, and a small boy crying in the back seat. Brooke feels her blood turn to ice. You saw this happen, sweetheart? The day Mommy got hurt? Ethan nods, tears in his eyes. Was Aunt Veronica in the car? Another nod. They were fighting over the wheel? Another nod. Ethan points to the figure of Veronica in the drawing, then makes a sharp pulling motion with his hands. Brooke hugs him, and he collapses into her arms, sobbing. It's the first time in weeks he has sought comfort from someone. You were very brave to show me this. When she looks up, Veronica is standing in the doorway with that cold smile Brooke knows too well. What a pretty scene, Veronica says. You two are very close, aren't you? Ethan immediately pulls away from Brooke and retreats into apathy. The fear has returned. Michael arrives at that moment. Did something happen? Nothing major, Veronica answers quickly. Just Brooke consoling Ethan again. She has a very special way with him. The way she says it makes clear she plans to use it against Brooke later. In the following days, Veronica turns up the pressure from every direction. With Michael, she plants more doubts about Brooke. Have you noticed how Ethan clings to her? That's not right, Michael. A traumatized child can't form that kind of dependence on a household employee. With Ethan, she intensifies the emotional blackmail. Did you show any drawings to Brooke? Because if you did, she could get into serious trouble, and Daddy might get upset too. With Brooke, the threats become clearer. You have a lovely family, don't you? Your mom, your brother. It's important to take good care of the people you love. The way Veronica says it makes Brooke's skin crawl. How does she know about Brooke's family? How's your mom, by the way? Still living in that little blue house? Brooke freezes. She never told Veronica where her mom lives. And your brother John, right? Still working at the gas station on the avenue? Brooke's heart races. Veronica has investigated her whole family. Why are you asking me that? Just curious, the same way you're curious about certain things. The threat is plain. If Brooke keeps asking questions, her family could pay the price. That night she calls home. Mom, are you okay there? We're fine, honey. Why? If any stranger shows up, don't open the door, okay? What stranger? You're worrying me. Just be careful. But Brooke knows caution won't be enough. Veronica has already shown she's capable of anything. Around this time, Brooke realizes she's being watched. Veronica appears in the most unexpected places, always with an excuse. Oh, what a coincidence, running into you at the bakery. Wow, you came to the market today too? The coincidences are too many. Brooke is being followed. During one of these coincidences, Veronica lets something slip. You know, Brooke, some people ask too many questions, and that can get complicated for them. What do you mean? I mean, excessive curiosity sometimes brings problems, especially when it messes with things that should have stayed in the past. Veronica never confesses anything directly, but the message is clear. She knows Brooke has discovered too much. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? Brooke only nods, pretending she doesn't, while inside she's terrified. By the end of the 6th week, Veronica realizes she has to act fast. Ethan keeps trying to communicate with Brooke through his drawings. Michael has started asking questions about the holes in her story. And Brooke knows too much. It's time to solve the problem once and for all. That afternoon, Michael heads out to handle inheritance matters. Ethan naps in the living room after lunch. The house is quiet. Brooke, how about some tea? You seem really tense lately. Brooke is wary, but doesn't want to seem paranoid. Thank you, Ms. Veronica. In the kitchen, Veronica makes the tea, then crushes one of her sedatives and stirs it into the hot cup. It's a strong medication she uses to sleep. Here you go. It's a calming tea. I use it when I get anxious. The tea tastes odd bitter. Brooke notices on the first sip. It tastes different. I added a little honey, makes it better. Brooke pretends to drink, but when Veronica isn't looking, she pours the liquid into the plant pot beside the chair. You know, Brooke, I've been thinking about our situation here. What situation? Well, you've been very observant lately, asking a lot of questions about the family. Veronica's tone is changing, turning colder. People who are too curious sometimes find things that can be dangerous for them. Brooke fakes drowsiness, letting her head rest against the chair. I don't understand. Of course you do. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Veronica comes closer, thinking the sedative is kicking in. Some people don't know when to stop poking around where they shouldn't. That can lead to very sad consequences. She leans down, whispering, "You have such a beautiful family. It would be a shame if something happened to them because of your curiosity." Brooke keeps pretending to fade, but inside she's on high alert. What do you want?" "What I've always wanted, for you to disappear from our lives, from Michael's life, from Ethan's life." Veronica paces the room, talking as if thinking out loud. "You know what the story will be? You were very depressed because you couldn't help a traumatized child. The weight was too much. You decided it wasn't worth it anymore." Brooke realizes Veronica is planning to stage her suicide. "Why are you doing this?" Veronica stops and looks at her. "Because I can finally have the life that should have always been mine. I knew Michael first. I loved him first. Amanda is the one who ruined everything." The words drip with years of resentment. "And now that she's not in the way, I won't let some housekeeper ruin my plans." Brooke pretends to be slipping under, but keeps listening. "Michael will be sad at first, of course, but I'll be here to comfort him. And Ethan, kids forget things anyway." Right then, Brooke understands Veronica isn't just dangerous to her. If she gets what she wants, that innocent child will be at the mercy of a woman capable of anything. Even while pretending to be sedated, Brooke knows she has to find a way to escape, not just to save her own life, but to protect Ethan. If she doesn't stop Veronica now, no one will be left to defend that boy. Brooke keeps feigning near unconsciousness. Veronica leaves the room to fetch more things, believing the drug is working. That's when Brooke hears a noise in the hallway, small footsteps. Ethan woke up. The boy appears in the doorway, still sleepy. When he sees Brooke, he smiles a little. At that moment, Veronica returns carrying a rope and goes livid when she sees Brooke on her feet. "Well, looks like my tea didn't work." Her voice has changed completely. There's nothing sweet left, only the voice of someone done pretending. Ethan senses something is wrong. He looks at Brooke, then at his aunt, and his eyes fill with fear. "Good timing, Ethan. You'll get to say goodbye to your little friend." Veronica blocks the exit. Brooke tries to move, but she can't get past her. Then something extraordinary happens. Ethan sees the woman he loves in danger and feels an urgency he hasn't felt in 2 years. He needs to protect Brooke. "No!" The word rips from him like thunder, the first clear word in 2 years. Veronica is stunned. The rope drops to the floor. "Don't hurt!" Ethan forces the words out, broken but determined. "Brooke, no!" He struggles to form sentences, his voice rusty from so long in silence. She bad." Ethan points at Veronica with a trembling finger. "Daddy! Daddy!" Now he can shout louder. Michael is just arriving home. He hears his son's voice and rushes inside. When he sees the scene, Veronica cornering Brooke, Ethan screaming, he can't make sense of it. "What's going on here?" "Dad, she wants to hurt Brooke." The words come slowly, but Michael understands. "Veronica, what is he talking about?" Ethan doesn't stop. It's like a dam has burst. In the car, with Mom." Michael goes cold. "What car? Which Mom?" She pulled the wheel." Michael feels the ground vanish beneath his feet. "What are you saying, son?" I saw everything." Ethan is crying, but the words keep coming. "They were fighting in the car. Aunt Veronica pulled." Each word lands like a punch to Michael's gut. Mom died because of her." Michael looks at Veronica, who has turned white. "That's not true, Michael. The boy is confused, traumatized." "I'm not confused, I remember." Ethan's voice is growing steadier. She said she wanted you for herself, that Mom stole you." Rage builds inside Michael, slow, dangerous. Veronica, look me in the eye and tell me that isn't true. Michael, you're going to believe a sick child. I'm not sick. I saw her do it. Ethan clings to his father's leg. She told me I couldn't tell that if I talked, you would die too. Michael looks into Veronica's eyes and sees something he's never seen there before. Fear-guilt. You killed my wife. It isn't a question. It's a statement. I would never do that. How could you think such a thing? But her voice is shaking. Because my 8-year-old son wouldn't invent a story like this. Because you vanished right after the accident. Because you came back exactly when I inherited money. Because you were always jealous of Amanda. Michael's mind is snapping pieces into place. Veronica sees she's cornered. Fine, we talked in the car, yes, but it wasn't on purpose, she blurts. She found out I still loved you. She said she'd tell you everything, ruin any chance I had. Michael is trembling with fury. And then you killed her. I just wanted her to stop. I just wanted to talk, but she fought and my wife died, and you let me blame myself for 2 years. You let my son carry that guilt. It wasn't my fault. It was hers. Ethan shouts at last, free. Michael grabs his phone and dials 911. Hello, I need help. I have a confession to a murder here. The police arrive 15 minutes later. Michael told them everything over the phone. When the officers step in, they find Veronica on the floor, crying, Michael holding Ethan, Brooke still in shock. Ms. Veronica Lawson? Yes. You're under arrest for homicide and attempted homicide. As they snap on the cuffs, Veronica looks at Michael one last time. I always loved you, Michael. If you love someone, you don't kill, he says. Michael hugs Ethan, who finally stops shaking. It's okay, son. It's over. Dad, I didn't kill Mom. Never, my love. You were never to blame for anything. Michael turns to Brooke. Forgive me for not believing you for letting this happen. You didn't know. None of us did. Ethan runs into Brooke's arms. Brooke, are you okay? I told you. You did, my prince. You were very brave. I saved you. You did. You saved me and you saved your dad too. Michael looks at Brooke, holding Ethan, and finally understands what he should have seen before. She isn't just the employee who cared for his son. She's the woman who brought Ethan back to life, who brought light back into their home, who risked her life to protect a child. She is the family they chose. In the days that follow, Ethan won't stop talking, as if trying to make up for lost time, though his words still come slowly, simply. Michael and Brooke grow closer, not romantically yet, but like two people who survived something terrible together. Veronica is sentenced to 20 years in prison. The case makes the news, but Michael shields Ethan from reporters. The boy is recovering well, speaking more each day, laughing more, playing more, and no longer wetting the bed. 1 year later, the house feels different. It's alive with laughter and music. Ethan speaks normally now, as naturally as any 9-year-old. He's still in his wheelchair, but that doesn't stop him from being happy. Michael and Brooke have been dating for 6 months slowly, building a relationship on real love, not on the tragedy that brought them together. Today is special. Michael is going to propose. They're in the yard. Ethan is playing with a kite Michael made for him. Brooke? There's something I want to ask you. Michael kneels on the grass, level with her chair. Will you marry me? Brooke is speechless, tears in her eyes. Yes. Yay! Ethan shouts, dropping the kite. Now Brooke will really be my mom if you want that, my prince. I want it so much. The three of them hug there in the yard under the afternoon sun. After lunch, they go to the cemetery. It's the second time Ethan has visited his mum's grave since the accident. Michael pushes his chair up to the headstone. Brooke walks beside them. Hi, Mom. Ethan's voice is firm. unafraid. I came to tell you I'm okay, that we're okay. He looks at Brooke. Brooke is going to marry Dad. She takes care of us. I think you'd like her. Michael squeezes Brooke's hand. And Aunt Veronica, she won't hurt anyone ever again. Ethan places a flower on the grave. You can rest now, Mom. We're going to be okay. They stand there a few quiet minutes, then walk back to the car, Michael pushing, Brooke at his side, Ethan holding both their hands. Love beat the lie, truth beat the fear, and a family formed not by blood, but by the heart. They get home. Ethan asks to stay a little longer in the yard to watch the stars come out. Dad, is Mom happy in heaven? I'm sure she is, son. And she's not mad that Brooke will be my new mom? Of course not. She wants you to be happy. Ethan smiles and looks up at the sky. Thank you, Mum, for sending Brooke to us. Michael and Brooke share an emotional look. Their life won't be perfect. There will be challenges, hardships, hard moments. But there will be love. There will be truth. There will be a family that chooses to stay together. And that's what matters. The end. This is Mr. Hope. Thank you for watching. Kindly comment and like.